My name is Scott Story. This is my wife, Nikki. We've been foster parents for about 9 years. We have had about 12 placements and have adopted 4 kids from the foster care system. Foster care is simply taking care of a child when their primary caregiver is either unwilling or unable to do so. This could happen because of abuse or neglect, or it could just be an illness that a caregiver is unable to care for a child for a period of time. Most, if not all, situations in foster care enter with the idea of reunification with the parents, and that many resources are provided to both parents so that reunification can take place, and one of them is foster parents. So it's to make sure that kids are safe, taken care of, while whatever jeopardy that the child was placed in can be resolved.
We became foster parents after several years of going through the process of trying to adopt domestically. So we had 3 biological kids and wanted more children, and decided that adoption was the route that we were going to grow our family, and was working with the organization for about 2 years waiting for a match with a birth mom, and it just never happened. And in that process, we met some families that had either were now adults and they had grown up in the foster care system, or had connections to the foster care system. And Scott came to me and said, "Why don't we get our license to foster, and we can help take care of other people's kids while we wait for an adoption to come forward."
One of the greatest challenges of being a foster family is just a lot of the unknowns. Unknowns about what calls you might get, for what ages, how many, when will it happen, how long will they stay, what sort of challenges, what sort of traumas might they come to your house with. So it's really just a lot of the unknowns that really form the biggest challenges. You know, there's definitely rewards to being a foster family. Just the impact that you can have on a single child, to be there when they are most vulnerable and truly lacking anybody else in their lives. Sometimes kids are coming to you with literally nothing but the clothes on their back and no one to care for, and maybe some of them have never had anybody to care for them. And so to be able to be that person that steps into that gap and fulfills a need and show love to children, maybe for the first time, but certainly in a time of need, is very rewarding, very fulfilling, to know that you're able to in some way fill that void.
I would say to someone that's considering fostering or adopting a child, to really think through the details. Sometimes people can make the decision out of emotions, and then when it gets down to it, the nitty gritty, it's super, super tough, and they wish they hadn't done it, or they kind of back out at the last minute. You need to have a huge support system in place. This is probably one of the hardest things we've ever done. Having friends and family and people within our church, even his bosses at work, to understand what our family is going through, and to kind of walk alongside and be there to help with childcare or meals or hours off work for appointments. It takes a huge group of people to do this and to do it successfully. So you really need a support system.